Archery. Yes, your girl is gonna be a Katniss Everdeen up in this bitch. And so I'm gonna have Archery again, which that will be really fun to show you guys. Jess Ueda has the quote unquote poop house. That is a hoarding house that has a ton of different treasures, like physical items that you can buy at a store, essentially. Mine has the equivalent of that in wood. So Mr. Brett and Jess came over to treasure hunt a bit, and that inspired me to really clean up the property and get this full blown back to its original beauty. That being said, I genuinely thought that I could do this single-handedly with a wheelbarrow. Now, fun fact, that is not the case because I was working from 4:30 to maybe 6:30 in the morning, and that's when it was hitting over 100 by then, and it was 120 throughout the days that I wanted to work on this, so absolutely not. But I definitely did what I could up until I realized that it would save me my sanity if I buy and I don't DIY. Numero uno done. I'm gonna debark these, clean up all of this. That is tinder for fires when it's allowed to happen. A little bit of trash over there. Over here, well, we did 2 piles. Started pulling some of the wood I think I might use for a border for the game area, and a couple other piles right there. And this guy. And then my favorite part are the finds. This morning, it's a really pretty textured piece. Lucky number 7, and a couple of wood pieces I like, and a part of an old hoe, which, you know me and my rusty things. Started to organize this pile, organize these stumps, and now onto this huge situation. I was very excited to take a break and let the Bobcat and Mr. D do the work for the land, because I have tried and I have successfully demoed different structures on my property. Again, it's just the heat and the weather. It's like, how much is your sanity worth? And it just wasn't worth it for me at this point in 117-degree weather. But that didn't mean I wasn't going to be helping him the entire time right next to him as we clean up my property. Let's take you on a little bit of a timeline. Paul and I broke up a little under a year and a half ago. Within 6 months of that, I purchased this home, and then I moved in probably a couple months after that. So I've only been here since March. But since I got the house in December, I've been telling all of my closest friends, I can't wait to clean up the property. I can't wait to get the archery up and running. And the fact that it was actually happening and things that I told people I was going to be doing to the property, like huge overhauls, have happened. It just made me feel like a very, very proud homeowner. Oh my God, I can see my mountain range now. I'm taking that jacuzzi and putting it in the ground. That's what's happening. I'm not sure if you guys remember the jacuzzi demo, the first thing that I did when I got into the house, and how this old jacuzzi has just been sitting in the middle of my property. Well, I saved that for a reason, because I wanted to dig it into the ground. Now that Mr. D had a Bobcat, he offered to do it for me because, again, I was going to do this by hand, and in no way do I think I would have like, what? It took 5 seconds for this hole to be dug by a machine. It would have taken a month for me to do it. We plopped that jacuzzi into the ground because that will be the pillow fort for the sunrise and sunset that is in front of that 2-story structure, which will in future be a shower, greenhouse, bathhouse situation. Before we head into the rest of the DIY, it is about that time of month where HelloFresh is sponsoring a girl. They have been the longest running sponsor here on my channel, and I am forever grateful, not just for their support, but for keeping me satiated. HelloFresh makes living healthy easier with many low-cal, carb-smart, vegetarian, and pescatarian options. Plus, every recipe is packed with fresh produce and sourced directly from the farmers, and you can even go in and choose your menu items for the week with what they have available. There is nothing I love more than getting a good bite by saving time and stress, and that's exactly what HelloFresh does for you. It cuts out the stressful meal planning and prepping so you can enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in just about 30 minutes or even 20 with their quick and easy options. HelloFresh can also help you eat more sustainably, which I absolutely love. The pre-portioned ingredients mean that there's less prep for you and less wasted food. And even though I get dinner for 2 or a meal prep for 2, I just use that second meal as a meal prep for my next day to set myself up for success. It's flexible and fits your lifestyle, which is the main reason that it keeps staying in mine. And you can choose extras like different dinners or lunches, even sides. This ricotta balsamic toast is one of my favorite. It's not off the regular menu. I will add it every week anytime I see it as an extra. Every Friday, I have HelloFresh showing up to my door, making my life a lot easier. And I'm hoping that you guys are going to give it a try too. If you guys want to, you're more than welcome to go to HelloFresh.com and use code METS14 to get 14 free meals plus free shipping. Yes, you heard that right. You can go to HelloFresh.com and use Metz14 to get 14 free meals plus free shipping. My life ever since moving to the desert 7 months ago may have been chaotic, but I have now been with HelloFresh using them for a year, and that makes that portion of my life so easy. And I really hope you guys give it a go. Now, let's jump right back into this DIY. Thank you so much, HelloFresh, for sponsoring today's episode. A little fun fact for you. No, I didn't forget about the property cleanup. You'll see that in a little bit. But a little fun fact for you. I don't think Miss Woodbrain and I have ever started and completed a project together. It's either one of us helping one another in the midst of it. So I was very excited to, whoa, dogs fighting in the background. I was beyond excited to be able to do a fun, easy weekend project that her and I could thoroughly enjoy before she took off. We decided to use these old telephone poles as the border for where the arrows would be going. So at least when people are out there shooting, people know not to step in there, I'm hoping. Okay. Each hay pile is roughly 80 pounds. We have 9 of those. So it is about 720 pounds that Lindsay and I are moving. So we're gonna move 720 pounds of hay into place. I do not know anything about archery, but that is why YouTube is so great. I did a couple of little researches, if you will, late night, and got the general idea. Just don't let the arrow go through the entire hay bale. So I did 3 stacks of 3 right behind one another. So it was super thick, and the only way that the arrow wouldn't go through it is if you missed it. Of course. Mount, this woman makes me laugh. Okay, so we set up the archery range. Oh my God, I can't. While we were setting up the hay, we both started to realize that we were a little allergic, if you will, on our legs. And then I realized Woodbrain is far more allergic than me, but she was totally fine. We went over and just rinsed ourselves with a hose, but I swear to God, it made me die. We followed in the original owner's footsteps, how they set it up. So there's already rebar there from previously. We just removed the pieces we weren't using because we weren't making the pile as big. I went in around the rebar that was closest to the hay, and we tightened that with some metal wiring, and then we used strap-ons. Whoa, that sounded weird. It's not the jam to come out here and add a bunch of light to the exterior of your property, and that's definitely not what I'm trying to do here, but I did want to give some mood lighting to the 2 special areas on my land, which are the Jeep Willie Daybed and this archery range. So I just sprinkled it with some solar lights. I decided to fill in the gaps between the telephone poles with this rock I found on the property. I ended up not liking it, and we moved forward the next day with replacing it with the wood that I saved, the wood pieces from the junk haul. The last thing for Miss Woodbrain and I to do before we decided to become Katniss Everdeens up in here was to string the bows. So we just spent some girl time hanging out, chatting, and making sure we were hopefully doing it right. You know me. If you actually don't, hi, welcome. But if you don't know me, I am all about the small details that nobody really thinks of. So the treasures that I found throughout the junk property haul, I decided to add into the wood border mix, and it just adds all these little touches of personality, like that side mirror. How damn cute is that? Are you even kidding me with the before and after the cleanup of this property? But also I really did love that all of this work led up to it being completed right before a huge storm started to roll in. That is coming in so hot. You could see that whole mountain range like 2 seconds ago. Oh, shit, we gotta move inside. I am blown away with the life that I am creating over here, all thanks to you guys. The fact that I'm doing a DIY archery range is beyond me, but I wanted to do something fun before we dove into the house and into makeovers. I've been hitting you with random DIYs that I don't think a lot of people would be doing left, right, front, and center lately, that now I'm gonna move into something that I truly know that you guys will get, I don't know, just the most out of design-wise, carpentry-wise, home improvement-wise. I'm very excited, but I did want to end it with something that I could use as a release throughout the next makeovers that we do for the remainder of the house. I mean, this is a great way to relieve stress. I wake up every morning, come out here, shoot some bows, try to learn a little bit more, and I'm just really beyond, I'm like besides myself with the life that I'm creating over here, this little corner of the world that I'm DIYing, and I couldn't be more grateful.